Hey there, everybody. Hey, welcome back here to 1908. Let me fix this a little bit here, try to get it to look well. Yeah, it's about as good as it's going to be. We have the Highlanders against the Senators for you today. Washington, of course, not exactly playing all that well. New York's 2 games behind the Philadelphia Athletics with that 9-8 record. Tied with the Browns and with the Tigers. The Tigers have finally come up, and then you have the Red Sox, White Sox, and Naps underneath them. Highlanders are on a 2-game winning streak here, and the Senators have just been bad. So it remains really, really tight in the American League so far, and we'll see what happens as we play this one. And it's Harry Niles to lead things off here for New York. Niles rolls a 43 for a 29 off of Burt Keeley. There's a comebacker over to the pitcher, throws to first, 1 away, and here's Willie Keeler. Rolls a 24 for a 13. That's a strikeout. 2 away, and here's Charlie Hemphill. Charlie rolls a 51 for an 8. That's going to be a single, and then that little C will get him as he tries to steal second. It's about to say tries to steal first. I must be a little bit tired today. We go to the bottom of the first. Here's Otis Clymer. Clymer off of Rube Manning. A lot of guys named Rube back then. Clymer rolls a 56 for a 34, and the second roll is a 15, so the little E roll is within the range. That ends up being an error on Conroy, the third baseman, and so Clymer makes it over to first, and that'll bring up George McClyde. Clymer has that 11, so we are going to do some hit and run with him. Let's see what we can do. McBride rolls a 13 for a 14, and that means that Clymer's off to the races, and with that 11, he's able to steal second cleanly, and now McBride's still up there with a strike on him, actually. And he rolls an 11 for a 7, and that's a single to right field. McBride will score, and that'll bring up Jim Delahanty, 1-0, just like that for the Senators. Here comes Jim, and he rolls a 63 for a 31. Fly ball to center field, and Hemphill's got it for the out, 1 away. Bill Shipka up there now. He rolls a 25 for a 10. That'll be a single to right center. McBride goes to third. Shipka able to steal second with John Warner up there. And Warner is still up there now with runners on at second and third. Warner's average only 172 and 294 on base percentage. We'll see if he can get on with a walk here with Manning pitching. And that's what it is. The rolls are 13 for a 14, walk to Warner, and that'll bring up Jerry Friedman here for the Senators. Senators are perhaps about to blow this game open. The Highlanders, of course, playing the infield back. And Jerry rolls a 35 for a 37, changed to a 41, and that's going to be a line drive over to Ball, who then the second baseman, who then touches the bag for the unassisted double play, and we go to the top of the second. So 1-0 is a score, as Washington only gets 1 out of that, and that will bring up Ball here, Neil Ball for New York. He rolls an 11 for zeros. Double columns are happening today, and then a 15 for a 6. It'll be a double for Ball, and he'll be on at second base with Jake Stahl up there. Nobody out, top of the second. Stahl now rolls a 14 for a 43. It's a fly ball over to left field. Gainley has it for the out, 1 away. Hal Chase, now the batter, rolls a 43 for a 29. Ground ball, over to Freeman, who flips over to Keeley, covering at first. 2 away, and there's Red Kleinow. Chase not hitting so well in the beginning of the season. Neil Ball moves over to third. And the roll is a 56 for a 34. Here's that little E roll. It's a 65, and it's out of the range. There's a pop-up over to Freeman, the first baseman, for the out. We go to the bottom of the second. Clyde Milan is up there now for the Senators. Rolls a 43 for a 29. Comebacker to Rube Manning, who throws to first, 1 away. Bob Gainley now rolls a 21 for a 30. It's a fly ball to left, and Stahl has that for the out, 2 away. Burt Keeley up there rolls a 16 for a 28. Ground ball over to Ball, who throws to first for the out. And we're up to the top of the third just like that. Whit Conroy rolls a 21 for a 30. Fly ball to left field. Gainley has it, 1 away. Rube Manning will be the next batter. He rolls a 23 for a 32. It's a fly ball over to right field, and Clymer has it for the out. 2 gone. Harry Niles is up there now, and he rolls an 11 for a 0. And his next roll is a 66 for a 1, and that's a home run over the right field fence. So Niles, in a single swing, has tied up this ball game, and that'll bring up Willie Keeler. 1-1 game, and Keeler rolls a 24 for a 13 for the strikeout. We go to the bottom of the third. Otis Clymer's up there, 1-1 game, tight ball game, good game so far. Clymer rolls a 44 for an 8. That's a single, and then he's caught stealing because the little C, 1 away, and it's George McBride now, who rolls a 52 for a 27. Ground ball over to left side. It's Conroy's ball. Throws to first for the out, 2 away. Jim Delahanty now rolls a 54 for a 45. It's going to be a fly ball over to right field. Keeler has that for the out. We go to the top of the 4th inning. Charlie Hemphill is up there and rolls a 64 for a 13 and strikes out, 1 away. Neil Ball now rolls a 26 for a 27. Ground ball over to the left side. Shipka's got it, throws to first, 2 away. Jake Stahl now the batter. He rolls a 22 for an 8, and that'll be a clean single to left center field, and that'll bring up Hal Chase. Chase rolls a 42 for a 13 and strikes out. So we go to the bottom of the fourth, a 1-1 game. And it is a close game that remains close. Bill Shipka up there now. There's a lot of offense from Washington at the bottom of the first, and they only got a single run out of it. Shipka heard me, rolls an 11 for a 0, and then a 15 for a 2, and there's a triple for him to left center field. That'll bring up John Warner, and the question is, okay, so do you try to score him with a bunt? Of course, we're going to have the infield come in. Bottom of the fourth inning, this might be the best chance that the Senators have. I'm probably supposed to bunt, but I'm going to swing away. And the roll is a 31 for a 9. That's a fly ball over to center field. Hemphill has it, but it's deep enough, and Shipka comes in to score. One away. It's a 2-1 ball game. Here's Jerry Freeman. He rolls a 66 for a 0, and his next roll is a 31 for a 6, and it's a double to right center field, and that'll bring up Clyde Milan now with a runner on at second. Milan, not the greatest hitter in the world, but I think he's a little bit better than Gainley, so we will swing away with him instead of sacrificing him to the gods of baseball, of base running, I should say. He rolls a 56 for a 34. The little E rolls up next. It's a 61. Ends up being a little pop-up over to Niles, the second baseman, for the second out, and here's Bob Gainley. Gainley rolls a 35 for a 40, changed to 39, and the runner's caught stealing third. Goes Klein out to Conroy on the putout, and we go to the top of the fifth. And here is Red Kleinow, who just made that good throw to catch the would-be base stealer. 2-1 Senators. Kleinow rolls a 14 for a 43, and the little E rolls a 14. That ends up being an error, on McBride, the shortstop, and that's the first error for the Senators. So both teams have committed an error. Wood Conroy up there now rolls a 56 for a 34, and that's a pop-up over to the shortstop McBride, who catches it, one away. It's Rube Manning, of course, he's going to bunt. And he rolls a 42 for a 13. That's going to be a foul. 24 for a 13, and there's the second one. See if they can get one more. We'll have to re-roll that here. Yeah, 46 for a 13. So Rube Manning strikes out the hard way with 3 straight 13 rolls. 2 away, and here's Harry Niles. He rolls a 35 for a 36. It's going to be a wild pitch on Burt Kelly, and Klein now goes to second. The next roll is a 13 for a 14, and so Keeley loses him. There's runners now on first and second, and here is Keeler. Willie Keeler, who's 0 for 2 today, rolls a 22 for a 7, and that's a single to left field. But the left fielder, Gainley, grabs that, throws all the way down to Warner, and they nab the runner trying to score at the plate. We go to the bottom of the fifth inning, 2-1 still the score, and it's Bob Gainley up there after making that good throw. That always seems to happen. You make a great play in the field, and there he is leading off the inning. Gainley rolls a 54 for a 45. Little E rolls a 23, which is in the range. And that's going to be an error on the left fielder, Jake Stahl. And it's a two-base error as he just sort of totally muffed that one. Gainley ends up at that second base, and that'll bring up Burt Keeley. Keeley is 0 for 1, of course, today, 0 for 8 on the season, and is about to bunt. And his roll is a 15 for a 10. And it's a good bunt over to the, I'm not sure which side, and Keeley's able to beat that one out. He's fast after all. Gainley moves over to third base, and he drags that one down and gets it. That'll bring up Otis Clymer now with the runner on at first base and third base, rather. Nobody out. We're going to just swing away. And the roll is a 45 for a 14. So Manning loses him, and that loads the bases with nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth inning. And the infield, I think, will come in here for McBride. He rolls a 34 for a 44. It's a quiet fly ball over to Hemphill in center field for the first out, one away. 2-1 ball game, and it's Jim Delahanty. Delahanty is 0 for 2 today, hitting .311 this season. Oh, look at that. He rolls an 11 for a 0. And the next roll is a 13 for a 6, and that's going to be a big double to left center field, which will score 2 and send Clymer to third. It's now 4-1 Washington, and up comes Bill Shipka. One out, bottom of the fifth, 4-1 ball game. Shipka rolls a 31 for a 14, and Manning is really, really struggling. He's walked 3, given up 7 hits, only at the bottom of the fifth. And here comes John Warner. Warner today, 0 for 0. He walked once and hit that sacrifice fly to center field. That was for what I thought was an important second run. And this time he rolls a 51 for an 8, and that's going to be a single, which will send Shipka to third, score 2, and then, of course, Warner, because the little C is thrown out trying to steal. That brings up Jerry Freeman, and by the way, for those of you who play Skeeter Soft, Manning is now a D, 6-1 the ball game. Freeman rolls a 53 for a 20, changed to 22. That's going to be a ground ball that actually deflects off of Manning, goes over to ball the shortstop, who throws to Chase for the out. We go to the top of the 6th. So that play is possible in Skeetersoft, the old 163, though you don't see it very often. Top of the 6th, here's Charlie Hemphill. Rolls a 32 for a 26. That's a quick ground ball over to Delahanty, the second baseman, who throws the first one away. Neil Ball now rolls a 44 for an A. That's going to be a single, and he gets caught because of trying to steal because of the little C. 2 outs, and it's Jake Stahl. Stahl rolls a 44 for an 8. Same result, single, and then he's caught trying to steal. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 6-1 now, Washington. Clyde Milan up there rolls a 24 for a 13 and strikes out. So there's one away. Here's Bob Gainley. Rolls a 64 for a 30. Fly ball left field, and Stahl has that one, 2 away. And here's Bird Keeley, who's pitched well so far. Rolls a 16 for a 28. It's a ground ball over to Neil Ball, who throws to first for the out. And we go to the top of the 7th inning. Hal Chase up there rolls a 61 for a 41, changed to 39. That's just a strike. His next roll, 34 for a 44. Another re-roll is a 45 out of the little E range. It's a fly ball over to center field. Milan has that for the out, 1 away. Red Kleinow now rolls a 13 for a 38. That's a ball. Then I roll both dice out of the picture. Next one's a 62 for a 12, and that's a little ground ball over to Freeman. First baseman goes to the bag himself, 2 away. Whit Conroy's up there, and he rolls a 51 for a 9. It's a little pop-up over to Shipka, and that does it. And we go to the bottom of the 7th. Otis Clymer, the leadoff hitter for the Senators, is up there. And look at that. He rolls a 55 for an A, gets a single. He's going to be caught stealing afterwards because of the little C, but he gets a base hit. Hit number 9 for the Senators, number 16 in this ballgame. And here's George McBride, who rolls a 45 for a 14. That brings up Jim Delahanty. So McBride is on at first. Up is Delahanty. He's going to do some hit and run. It rolls a 64 for a 22, and Delahanty's hit by the pitch on that one, and that'll bring up Shipka. Manning is going to come out in the top of the 8th inning once his spot in the order is due up. Really not pitching well. Shipka now rolls a 41 for a 28. It's a little ground ball over to Ball, flips over to Niles for the force, but that's all they get. 2 outs now, and runners are on at first and third, and here's John Warner. He rolls a 24 for a 13. It's a strikeout, and that does it. We go to the top of the 8th inning. Rube Manning's spot is up. And let's see who we decide to pinch hit with here, huh? Probably, yeah, I mean, between Blair and Sweeney, probably Jeff Sweeney is going to be the pinch hitter here. So up comes Jeff Sweeney for his first at-bat. And he rolls a 62 for a 12. It's a ground ball to Freeman, the first baseman, who goes to the bag by himself for the out, 1 away. Harry Niles is up now, and he rolls a 15 for an 11. That's a single to left field, and then he steals second after that. Really good game for Niles so far, who had that home run. Wee Willie Keeler now with 1 out, runner on at second base. Keeler is 1 for 3. And he rolls a 33 for a 7. It's a single to right field, and that'll knock the run in and bring up Hemphill, with the runner on at first base. 6-2 Senators. Charlie up there now rolls a 64 for a 13 and strikes out. 6th strikeout by Keeley so far. And here's Neil Ball. He rolls a 44 for an 8, and that's going to be a single, sending Keeler to third. But the little C gets Neil Ball, and we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Jeff Sweeney is not going to be the pitcher, believe it or not. We can just take a quick look here and see who we're looking at. Probably Doc Newton. Doc Newton has appeared in 1 game this season, so yeah, he's going to do it. Doc Newton comes in to pitch for the Highlanders. He'll pitch the 8th and the 9th, and up to face him is Jerry Freeman. Of course, he only pitches the 9th if he has to. Freeman rolls a 12 for a 24, and the next roll is a 25, which is just out of the little C range. That's a ground ball over to Neil Ball, who throws to first for the out, 1 away. Clyde Milan rolls a 41 for a 28, another grounder to Ball, 2 away, and here's Gainley. Rolls a 45 for a 14, and he walks and then steals second, and up comes Bert Keeley. And I'm not sure if the crowd's going to give him a special round of applause or not. He's given up 10 hits. The results of 42 for a 13, and there's the strikeout. We go to the top of the 9th. 6-2 Senators, and here comes Stahl. I'm looking at Chase, wanted to say C instead of S. Stahl rolls a 15 for an 11, and that's a base hit off of Keeley, and then he gets that steal of second. And here now is Hal Chase, hitting 221, 239 on base percentage. He's not getting on base, 0 for 3 today. He rolls a 54 for a 45. Little E number is a 55 out of the range. It's a fly ball over to right field, and Clymer's got that for the out, 1 away. Up is Red Kleinow. Kleinow rolls a 65 for a 35, and the little E rolls a 52, so it's a pop-up over to the left side. Shipka's got it, 2 away, and it's Whit Conroy, the last chance for the Highlanders. He rolls a 56 for 34. Pop up this time over to Delahanty, the second baseman, for the out, and that does it. The Senators win this one pretty easy. Win for them 6-2, and the Highlanders now go down to 9-9. Senators up to 7-11. And as has always been the case, at least so far this season in this American League, anybody can beat anybody. We'll talk with you again tomorrow. Bye.